Hey, Mark Rodriguez here. You're watching America's #1 cure for insomnia, the Diamond Cutter Wrestling Podcast. And you're wondering why the images look a little different now. It's because this is the first official podcast, not just in 2025, but also from this brand new laptop given to me by my delightful sweetie here. So with me are
Jack Knives from Jack Knives Reviews.
We White, aka Ninja Panda 1980.
My name anymore, but it took me Ninja Super Chat, Uncle Notice, Wendy. And I'm going to turn this over to the one, the only, the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that is hanging around doing, I don't know, Johnny Rodriguez.
Johnny Rodriguez.
all right, guys. So this is gonna be, I guess, extra length episode of Diamond Cutter Podcast. Not because Jack is here, or but because we're gonna be going over predictions of Wrestle Kingdom, Dynasty, as well as our thoughts on World's End, the pay-per-view, the last AEW pay-per-view of 2024. But before we go into that, just some quick news here and there about all these little streaming services and all the little things that happened with wrestling. So first and foremost, I know we skipped a couple of pay-per-views last time because it was just too many. We're busy, so I'm not sure we got the news here yet, but they no longer have the AEW pay-per-views on Bleacher Report Live. They're now on ppb.com, I think Triller as well, and some other services, but the major thing is it's no longer on Bleacher Report Live.
But if you go to your David Buster's in the US, you can watch it there too.
Yeah, there you go. But before it was exclusive, like you had to have the Bleacher Report Live, but not anymore. Now it's like spread out to the other ones. And as for Ring of Honor, they've also stopped doing that. Now, like all their shows are in the Ring of Honor app, and it's cheaper that way because you're already subscribed to the Honor Club. The pay-per-view is already there. You don't have to pay separately for it. So that's cool. $10 a month, And then the other news also is that Rampage is over. The last Rampage of last year, last week, whatever, was the last episode of Rampage. And I guess to build up the storyline and whatever, I didn't actually see it, but from what I heard, they made it look like, Moxley and the Death Riders, hijacked it, sabotaged it. They pulled the plug on it and all that kind of stuff.
Wait, AEW has storylines?
Yes. And I feel kind of, I don't know, because I know Rampage was kind of like the C or even D show, but I feel bad because Johnny and I were there live. We were there live for the first episode of Rampage. It was awesome. Keep the shirt, Johnny, because it might be worth something now. I don't know if we're going to have those anymore. We had the Rampage shirts and all that. And it was cool because he got to meet Britt Baker. Even Britt Baker was like, "Cool, you got the shirt at the event. You were there." And they got, conversation there. So it kind of sucks that, it's gone. Thing has a pass,
Mm-hmm.
So the last bit of news, real quick, before you guys drop in your thoughts on all that, is that this last episode of Dynamite was the first episode that they have this simulcast with regular TV, but also on Max. On what is it, like HBO? No,
HBO Max.
HBO Max.
Max. Well, it's called Max now.
Yeah. And what is interesting is that the people on Max don't get to see the picture-in-picture. So now they're no longer saying, Shabani is famous. We'll continue this match in picture-in-picture because there's no picture-in-picture.
They said, we'll be back with a commercial break or whatever they say now.
Yeah, that's the most noticeable difference.
So we actually took a look at both because, we watched it live, like the TBS viewing. When they went to picture-in-picture, they were going to a break. So, let's check it out. And they're in picture-in-picture, but on the Max side of it, it's just random ads. And then there's a thing that said, like, your program will be back after a while or something because there are ads or something. And then it goes back to the
so that's kind of suck because if you're watching on Max, you do miss out on the extra thing. And in the case of a match of Jericho versus Ishii, you're missing out on like 75 extra chops during the picture-in-picture. That was horrible. Those matches between Jericho and Ishii are just nonstop chops. And if you do picture-in-picture, they're still doing chops. Like
I've never watched a promotion that made me legitimately hate chops. I hate seeing them now. I don't care who does them. I just hate seeing it.
Oh. What's funny is New Japan doesn't even do chops. Like they haven't done chops. They do forearm. So forearms, but like when they do them, they don't do them very often. It's basically like mainly like near the end of a match, but they don't do it like as frequently as they used to, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, chops should be like taken out every once in a while, like, just to get the person off guard or something. Not like, my turn. Oh, you get a chop, and you get a chop, and a chop. Why not?
You notice Gunther doesn't do him that much anymore either. Gunther doesn't really do him that much now that I think about it.
So any thoughts on these random changes? Are you guys
Oh, and don't forget that other thing. It's not dealing with AEW, but also WWE is finally using the streaming service too. They're on Netflix, right? Yeah. So Raw's on Netflix. Dynamite.
In fact,
Max.
internationally, as of, I don't remember if it's January 6th or the following Monday. Internationally, NXT, SmackDown, and Raw are all going to be on Netflix. Internationally, which is good, because the thing of it is, I'm not trying to dog on AEW despite it being very easy to do so. Internationally, Netflix is worldwide. It has a worldwide market and global usability, whereas Max is like, I think, America, Canada, and Mexico, which is fine, but it doesn't have as much usability outside of them. So it's so it's kind of like, okay, well, I see where they're going for, but it's also like, with Netflix, I'm like, granted, I think with in America, I think it's gonna take a full extra year before like with their contract with Peacock and CW. I don't know. Maybe they'll do reruns on Netflix. I don't know the whole deal, but I do know that Raw this upcoming Monday is going to be on Netflix, and I know it's going to be probably one of, if not the biggest Raw they've ever done. So,
and I will say,
not to mention, on top of this,
market's going to miss out on AEW. That would kind of suck.
On top of this, they've actually fully gotten rid of and taken down the servers for the WWE network. So that is our IP for the WWE
100%.
No,
it's gone.
Like the backlog,
it's gone.
Of all the,
and then on top of that,
stuff
you forgot the most important news. You forgot about the most important news of AEW, that everyone is so excited and they just can't hide it.
I did not want to go there yet.
We got to talk about
one more WWE thing.
Come on.
We were going to go there, but I wanted to mention one more WWE thing.
We'll talk about that.
They have now, WWE is also now doing Saturday night's main event, and I hear they're still doing, they actually did Obsession by Animotion for the intro, to my knowledge. So, did anyone watch?
Sorry. I'll save that for later.
We were too busy being so excited by the brand new AEW intro, which is now done by the Pointer Sisters, and I thought this was a joke. Like, I legitimately thought it was a joke, and now I watched it.
What's our thing? I know it's supposed to be a legitimate opening until y'all said it. Okay.
It's a legitimate opening.
I didn't know either. I didn't know it until my roommate watched it.
It is catchy though. I just don't know, like,
it's not a matter of it being catchy. It's like, if you watch, it's the parallel irony to me.
It's how bad AEW is. It doesn't get people excited.
It's the parallel irony of a company who does everything they can to try to show you how dark and edgy and alternative to WWE. And that's the kiddie shit. And that's your theme. It's the irony of it. It's literally like, imagine an image of like Mad Max driving down like the apocalyptic desert highway and then hearing Culture Club's "I'll Tumble for You." You're like, the fuck? Like, the parallel is what? This doesn't make any sense.
Should have hired Elizabeth Berkley to sing the song.
Or like just redoing the entire Attitude Era and having it done by like Taylor Swift in the intro. Like,
and it's also hilarious that it's seeing the imagery. It's specifically one part made me laugh when I saw the intro, and it's hearing the song and then seeing the angry, dead serious Jon Moxley. Funniest damn thing in the world to me. Mr. Everything's dead serious, Mr. No jokes. Just going,
Mr. I can't make sense. I don't even know what I'm talking about with his promos. The problem with Moxley is that he's making Ultimate Warrior seem sane with the way he's doing his promos. Because what he's saying makes sense.
He does.
When you make the Ultimate Warrior
But
seem
anyway.
coherent, you lost the narrative here.
Yeah. One thing I do want to mention, I think Johnny was saying earlier that he was having better experience with PPV.com compared to Bleacher Report Live. Like it doesn't cut out or anything.
Oh yes, the PPV. I'll just call it pay-per-view to make it simpler. It works very good. It's a very good app. And it's very easy to watch your pay-per-view. It's easy to pause. I haven't done the rewind feature, but I'm pretty sure you could rewind it really easily. So it's really good because it actually, like, if you stop the pay-per-view for whatever reason, say you have to stop because, I don't know, you have to use the bathroom or whatever, then you could just, go back to what you're doing, press play, and it'll just play back the part you left off. Compared to the other app that even though you do that, for some weird reason, when you push play, it sets you way back.
Yeah, it did. It did.
That's
When
good
I used
stuff.
to, because when I had
hated
to
it.
run it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same thing as whenever I was running it before he was here. I had that same problem.
Yeah.
And then with the previous app, it would also do a lot of buffering and sometimes you would see the match and then it just shuts down and then you gotta return it on again and then the app shuts down again and it just sucks. It's a horrible app.
Yeah.
So thankfully, so far, not to jinx it, but so far pay-per-view is working very well. Not only that, but the image looks very crystal clear. Not that I'm saying that the internet provider I have is bad or anything. It's pretty good actually. But the app itself, the image quality, I don't know, it just looks more HD in my opinion compared to the other one.
Well, probably because it's so busy buffering that you can't get a good, clear image.
Weird, the image looks very clear. Everything animates, everything just runs smoothly like how it should. So, Bleacher Report, I don't know what's up with Bleacher Report, but they need to fix that up because that's not. Yeah, I'm glad that at least they transfer the pay-per-view service with pay-per-view rather than Bleacher Report.
Speaking of buffering, that is the one thing I'm worried about with the whole WWE going over to Netflix. And the only reason why I am highly concerned about that was, does anybody remember the Tyson and Logan Paul fight?
Yep.
Yeah.
But to be fair, there are probably way more people watching that than they'll be watching WWE. Just, I think it won't have as much of an issue. But that Mike Tyson thing going to go against that Paul kid, I don't know. A lot of people, even at work, they were talking about even some of them, the people coming in and picking up their series, whatever. It's the same thing. They were talking about it. So, Wendy, you want to watch that fight? You want to go home and watch the fight? I'm going to see the movie with The Rock,
I swear,
not only that, the other problem with that though,
empty.
the problem with the Tyson fight was also that they were using third-party software, and I'm pretty sure WWE is using they've done testing, so they've been testing for a while with I know it's kind of a weird comparison, but anyone who's been paying attention to when they did the Wyatt 6 stuff with the WhatsApp and all that stuff, that was actually a testing for if it would be broadcastable, because they did off of WhatsApp, they did off of Zoom, they did off of they wanted to test the software off of each of them. So from what I can gather, that's essentially the Wyatt 6 was also basically a testing to see, will this work? So, in that regard, I'm like, oh, yay.
Too worried about the whole WWE thing. One, what Jack just said, and two, like I said, I don't think they're going to have as high as a viewership as with that Tyson fight.
But it's going to have Logan Paul.
Oh my god, he needs to get canceled for real. But I'm curious how well the Max platform, the Max streaming service works for AEW. Will it work good, or will it also have buffering? Because isn't HBO Max relatively new-ish?
It's been around for a while, but they've never done streaming.
Formatted, basically. So, like it's an HBO service.
It's been around for a while, but they haven't been doing streaming before now.
Yeah, so, I think the streaming thing is completely new. But when we were watching it, we didn't have any issues.
Just a quick question, guys. Throw it out there with the streaming. Have you guys been watching Dragon Ball Daima? I'm just kind of curious. Any thoughts, opinions, or anything? Have you guys been seeing it?
To be honest, no. I have been really behind. I have it on my queue. I just haven't watched it. It's that and Dandadan. I haven't watched it. Everyone's been like, watch it. I'm like, I'm trying, man. I'm busy, man.
Yeah, we were surprised. We watch it it's every Friday night or so, I guess, because the whole Japan and America time zone.
Yeah, it does air. Yeah, and I always think that it was a strange airing time over there, because usually for the time that's airing in Japan is usually like for more adult-ish type shows. Over there they're airing at night. So over here, like when it's like 11 or something over there, it's like morning here.
Yeah, but it airs here at Friday night.
No, it airs here. It's mornings. It's morning. So it airs over Japan. No, it airs in Japan on Friday nights, which means it'll be Friday mornings here.
Are you sure? Because there's times that we check and it's like not.
No, it might not be up yet. But what I'm saying is it airs at like 11 something at night, and then it's which means it'll be like Friday morning or so here. So that's what I'm saying. And I thought that was a very odd time for a show like that to be on, when like even original Dragon Ball came on like 7 or so in the evening in Japan.
Yeah.
The original Dragon Ball. Now anything after original Dragon Ball and Z and stuff, they start doing the mornings. It was very toned down. I mean, even Dragon Ball Kai, when I was living over there, aired at like 9 o'clock on Sunday mornings.
Yeah, today they just happened to like not have an episode. We were gonna watch it. We've been reviewing every episode, as they air, and we were like, okay, I haven't seen anyone talking about it or any spoilers. I'm trying to avoid social media, but it's like nope, because no episode this week. I guess because of holidays. But
and like I said, it's Japan, so we got like. Yeah, Christmas isn't that big over there, but you have the 23rd, Emperor's birthday, and New Year's. And in the last part of December, there's something in there too. I just can't remember what it was. But then you got like the stuff for the New Year's, and you do the temple visits in the morning. Then you have all that nice good osechi. Oh God, I miss it.
Okay, so now
the food is good.
Okay, so since we're on the topic of Japan, that's a perfect segue for Jack Knight to take over and do the introductions of what's coming up next year. Yeah.
All right. So, since it's a New Japan double, apparently it's a double show. I think they're dubbing it as 2 days to rock the world or something like that in Japan. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's going to be back to back Wrestle Kingdom followed by Wrestle Dynasty, with stakes affecting both. And so, since that's going to be the case, I'll take over as I'm a diehard New Japan mark. So, starting off at the beginning of the pay-per-view is what is referred to as the New Japan Rambo. Basically a battle royal until there's a fatal four-way. Generally, that's how it works. Before, the winner of that would actually get a shot at the KOPW belt. But considering they disbanded the KOPW belt this year, the winner of that will actually get a title shot for the IWGP championship at a later date. So, since we don't know any of the competitors, we're just going to skip that. But that's only the pre-show, and that's pretty much it. But going on into the main show, we have for the first time ever in the Tokyo Dome, a ladder match, as the IWGP Junior Tag Team Championships will be on the line in a fatal four-way Tokyo Terror ladder match, with the champions Intergalactic Jet Setters Kevin Knight and Kushida versus Robbie Eagles and Kosei Fujita from TMDK, Catch 22 from United Empire, TJP and Francesco Akira, and the Bullet Club War Dogs, Clark Connors and Drilla Maloney. So that's going to be a sick match. So, I mean, like I said, they've never done a ladder match. They rarely, if ever, do ladder matches. I think they've only done 4 in all of New Japan history. So, yeah, I'm really curious. And it's the first time they've done a tag team ladder match either. So, What are you guys' thoughts? Who do you think is going to win? It's
Say you already have my prediction, so you can just tell me.
Jet Setters, TMDK, Catch 22, or Bullet Club.
Oh, the Mighty Don't Kneel, those guys.
Yeah, they call themselves the Ichiban Sweet Boys, but they have their own nicknames for their group. Don't ask, but they're TMDK.
Kind of want to change my prediction, but I want to stick with what I already chose. So, like I said, you already have my prediction, so you can just read it out for me, Jack.
Okay, so I have. All right, so I chose for TMDK. So I'm kind of out of left field choosing TMDK. Dave actually picked Catch 2 so he picked United Empire. Ninja and Jupi both chose the Bullet Club War Dogs. What do you guys choose?
Okay, yeah. The name just grabs me, so I'm gonna go with Intergalactic Jet Setters. The name just
okay.
I'm just like
champs to retain.
That sounds like a graffiti crew from Jet Set Radio.
I know, right? Like that's just the name.
Well, what's cool is it's literally like, so Kushida's the time splitter, so he's like Back to the Future style, and Kevin Knight, his whole thing is like he jumps so high he's like on rockets. So it's basically like their future like Astro Boy kind of thing. So I kind of dig it. Because Japan, thoughts, Johnny? Why not?
Okay, so I'm just gonna choose anyone because honestly I don't really know any of these wrestlers. So I'm just gonna go with Catch 22.
Okay, Catch 22. Good choice. Like I said, none of these guys are actually bad. All of them are very talented wrestlers. So, okay, and
which is actually what made it really hard to make my pick. I mean, the just the lineup alone is just going to be banger after banger. So
exactly, that's the one thing I love about New Japan, and I kind of hate about New Japan is because the matches are so good. Even if a person you're not rooting for loses, you're still like, it was still a good match, so I'm good.
Exactly,
you can't have a strong bladder because there's no bathroom breaks for this one. No piss break matches.
Unless you're in the arena, and I wish they would show these on TV. They used to have these things if you went to the arena, and also if you originally with the pay-per-views where they would tell you like the rules of the arena, and they would have one of the wrestlers would be a criminal, and then Jushin Thunder Liger would be dressed like a policeman, but he'd still have his mask.
The mask on.
Like,
oh God.
I'm like, I kind of wish they would do that. But anyway. Next up is the IWGP Women's Championship. The retaining champion, Mayu Iwatani versus Azumi. That one's going to be really hard.
Yeah, I mean, that was a hard one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with her. Which one you go to?
Oh, no, Jack? Are those the ones you got?
Okay,
DJF?
So as of right now, only DJF has Mayu retaining. Ninja, me, and Jupi all chose Azumi becoming the new champion.
Yeah, I'm also going with
because
Azumi.
There's only ever been 3 champions.
I went with Azumi because she sounds awesome. I've seen some like images and some like the little match highlights and stuff and everything, and she's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. The fact that I can look at something like that and say, I know that name, I know them.
Yeah, her nickname is the High Speed Queen. Like both her and Mayu Iwatani are pretty quick paced, but Azumi's like a bullet.
Gotta go
she
fast.
literally wrestles like a bullet. Gotta go fast. No. What about you, Johnny? Azumi or Mayu?
I'm gonna go with Asumi because everybody's talking great things about Asumi, so I'm just gonna go with the flow on this one.
All right. Next up is, after a long hiatus, little bit of backstory. El Phantasmo was off of TV for a while. No one really knew why. Turns out he actually just came back from cancer treatment, and now he is cancer-free, which is like, whoa. So no one knew about it. It was kind of like really under the radar, and he just said, hey, I'm cancer-free. And they entered him into this match, which will be for the New Japan World Television Champion. The evil Ren Narita versus Jeff Cobb, Ryohei Owa in his first ever Wrestle Kingdom match, and El Phantasmo in a fatal four-way. So I'm kind of like torn with this one because I was originally like, oh, this is an easy one. And then they threw ELP in there. I'm like, damn. I'm like, damn, now you made it hard for me because now I don't want to root against the guy who just came back from cancer. But that being said, I personally chose Ryohei Kosei Fujita just because he's a new guy. They seem really hyped on him. He came from Pro Wrestling Noah, so he was a big signing from Noah to here. So I'm just going Kosei Fujita. There's and Jupi, Ninja, and DJF all chose ELP. And what do you guys think? Jeff Cobb, Ren Narita, ELP, or Fujita?
Tasmo, the name, got me. And also, hey, they always root for the underdog. He just came back, all that good stuff. Got that going for him.
The coolest luchador from Canada.
There you go. Hey.
What do you think, Johnny?
I'm gonna also choose El Phantasmo just because it's like the great comeback story, and he's been out of the arena for a while, literally speaking. So,
because I know you guys have seen him on AEW, right? He's wrestled on AEW before.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, we've also seen Jeff Cobb on AEW a couple of times too.
That's true. That's true.
And also, El Phantasmo, I mean, like you said, he just came back too, but now knowing that backstory, I'm rooting for him even more.
I know. I was like, damn. Because everyone thought he just left because his tag team partner, Hikuleo, got signed with WWE. He's the youngest brother of the Tongans, and he's apparently on a, what is it called? What is it called where you're not on the main roster yet? You're like promotional or industry?
Provisional or not provisional?
Provisional, yeah. So he's signed to a provisional NXT contract. So he's working his way into becoming on NXT. So, and then after that, everyone's like, well, what happened to ELP? And he just kind of vanished. And I was like, oh, okay, now we know. Next up is the last of the road match with Ace Hiroshi Tanahashi having declared that he wants to retire at Wrestle Kingdom 20, which will be next year. But Evil has other plans as he has attacked him repeatedly, challenged him for Wrestle Kingdom, and he wants to fight him. And if Evil beats him, Ace has to retire right then and there at Wrestle Kingdom. But Ace only agreed if he made it a lumberjack match. So it's Ace versus Evil in a lumberjack match. If Ace loses, he has to retire. And if he wins, he has one more full year.
That's why I want for Tanahashi.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think everyone agreed with Tanahashi. Yeah. Yep. Everyone agreed with Tanahashi.
Yep. Tanahashi is like the Japanese Cody Rhodes. He's got to finish the story.
Yep. And that's one of the hard part when you do have those kind of stipulations and story reasons or whatever. It has to be Tanahashi. You know what I mean? So I'm also going for Tanahashi and see what happens there.
Yeah, I'm also rooting for Tanahashi as well.
All right. Okay, so I'll add Johnny on here. All right, so next up is probably the match I think everyone outside of New Japan is really hyped to see because this is probably going to be like the hardest hitting match. It is a winner take all for both of the Never Openweight and the AEW International Championship between the Dragon Shingo Takagi and the Alpha Konosuke Takeshita. Winner take all. So whoever wins this match will also go on to Wrestle Dynasty to defend the Never Openweight championship against the Stone Pitbull Ishii. So whoever wins this will have to pay double duty, but it's going to be a hard-hitting fight between the Dragon and Takeshita. And honestly, for me, it's kind of a coin.
I had a really hard time with that one. Because I know both of them.
It's a coin toss.
The only problem is, will what's his face, Phallus and his goons be there though?
Oh gosh, you!
I don't know. But if it's a hard hitting match between them, I'm like, it really is a coin toss. Like their styles are really like, this is going to be the hardest hitting match probably of the whole night. And
listen, I went with Takeshita for this one only because I feel so sorry for how he's using AEW. That's all.
I'm going to go with Takeshita because there's a high chance that Don Phallus with his screwdriver will get involved.
With you.
What about you, Johnny? Who are you choosing? Dragon or Alpha?
I'm also going to go with Takeshita.
Okay. All right. So it's a unanimous agreement on Takeshita.
You chose Takeshita?
Aside from me. Aside from me. I chose the Dragon.
Mr. Contrarian.
Well, no, because I love Shingo. And I'm like, it's LIJ. I gotta back my boy.
I was gonna go right now, but they hop on.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I like LIJ as well, but let's face it, there's an AEW title on the line. Takeshita is pretty much on their roster. He's got to bring it back home. So that's the main reason why.
But for me, I'm like, normally I would agree, but the thing of it is like, if this were on Dynasty 100%, I wouldn't even hesitate. But because it's Kingdom, I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, it's hard for me. But that, like I said, it's hard. Either or, it's going to be a great match regardless.
Yeah. Either or, it's going to be a banger.
Next, another banger is going to be for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Doki versus El Desperado. And Desperado had to, he fought Doki, had the title taken from him. And then shortly after, Desperado had to leave to get full reconstructive surgery on his knee. He is fully recovered, and now he's challenging him again for a match. And like every time they fought, it's been basically a war. So that is going to be lucha-tastic.
The flippy shit.
I'm curious. Well, no, the thing is, they are technically lucha libres, but they're hard hitting lucha libres. So it's kind of like, it's like stiff style. So it's for me, I'm like, I love Doki, but Ninja and DJF all are going for Desperado. Juppie's going for Doki. So what about you guys?
I'm going for Desperado. We got to back up the compas, man.
I'm also going for a Desperado.
So I'm the contrarian for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you're not back in the compas.
Nope, not today. Not for this one. I'm not. I'll go for El Phantasmo. Don't he count? Doesn't he kind of, sort of, maybe, kind of count?
Well, I think he eats Canadian manure.
I know. It's right.
Next, we have the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. The Rebel David Finlay versus the Gene Blast Yota Tsuji. I didn't make these nicknames up. I don't ask.
Is he related to Fit Finlay or
Gene? So David Finlay is the leader of Bullet Club, and he's a freaking beast in the ring. Like a very underrated wrestler, but people really shit on him. But he is insanely good. And yes, he is Finlay, the Irish guy, that's his father.
Mm-hmm.
Fit Finlay is his father. So it is me, Ninja, and DJF once again going for Finlay, and Juppie is going for Yota Tsuji. What
I'm
about
gonna
you
go
guys?
for Yoda Suji and see how that works. If it works in my favor or not.
Yeah, I'm also gonna go for Yoda.
Next is the long awaited match, the dream match that is about 15 years in the making between Tetsuya Naito and the Time Bomb Hiromu Takahashi. These two started in LIJ together. Basically, they trained each other, or Naito trained him, and they pretty much know each other inside and out. And in fact, they both won the World Tag League. So they both just won the World Tag League. Yes, I know. So for me, a lot of people, this is like, it's kind of sad, but it's also like, okay, well, but it's an honorable kind of match. And so because of that, I'm kind of like, it's kind of a coin toss for me also. But I chose the Time Bomb. I chose Hiromu, being a little bit of a contrarian here.
I'm going for Naito.
Whereas, yeah, Jupi, Ninja, and DJF all went for Naito. And Mark, you're gonna go for Naito. And what about you, Johnny?
I'm gonna go for Takahashi.
Oh, all right. He's on my team. Yay.
Yeah. Yeah, that goes.
All right. And finally is the main event for the IWGP. I dropped it. For the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. And it's a lot bigger than this. But for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, Zack Sabre Jr. versus the Roughneck Shota Umino. I'm pretty much everyone unanimously thinks Zack Sabre Jr. is gonna win. So me, Jupi, Ninja, DJF, all going for Sabre. What about you guys?
Listen, I'm the contrarian. I'm gonna go for Shota Umino.
Umino.
It's gonna give him a hell of a challenge. You never know, man. It'll rock the house if he wins the title.
Okay.
That would shock everybody. It would. And it's
I'm going
crazier stuff has happened.
Either way, it's going to be one hell of a fight. I will say that.
What about you?
Oh god.
What about you, Johnny?
I'm going with Zack Sabre Jr.
All right, cool. All right, and that is the predictions so far. That is the predictions for Wrestle Kingdom. Now we will be moving on into Wrestle Dynasty.